Welcome back, y'all. So we are here talking about Operation Praying Mantis, and for the new people here, I am a Wiki reader. I read the Wikipedia pages, so you don't have to. One day, this will find my people of Wikipedia interested personnel. So I haven't read this yet, and we're going to dig on into. I already know a little bit about the operation, but we'll see what the old Wikipedia page has to get into it. Also, if you drink whiskey or bourbon, get one of these things. Oak sip. It's a charred oak wood for your whiskey. Highly recommend. Currently drinking some Peerless Toasted for those interested. So, like I said, let's go ahead and get into this Operation Praying Mantis. Operation Praying Mantis was the 18th April 1988 attack on the United States Iranian naval targets in the Persian Gulf in retaliation for the mining of U.S. warships for 4 days earlier. So the Iranian Navy was mining, not like digging, but mines, underwater naval mines of warships. And also in a beer today, not doubling up. On the 14th of April, American guided missile frigate USS Samuel B. Roberts struck a mine while transitioning in international waters. So it's illegal to mine international waters as a part of Operation Earnest Will, the 87 to 88 effort to protect flagged Kuwaiti oil tankers from Iranian attacks during the Iran and Iraq War. The explosion pierced the hull and broke the keel of the Samuel B. Roberts, which nearly sank but was saved by its crew with no loss of life. After the serial numbers of the mines were recovered and the area found its match to the mines seized on a Iranian barge previously of September, the U.S. military officials planned a retaliation operation. On 18th of April, the attack destroyed, damaged, or sank two Iranian oil platforms, three warships, several armed boats, two fighter jets. Two U.S. Marines aviators did die in a helicopter crash in the Gulf. But I don't think they know the reason for that helicopter crash. But let's get into it. And this is very heavy on pertaining with today's political climate between Iran and the U.S. The attack pressured Iran to agree to a ceasefire with Iraq later that summer. That sounds like American phrasing. Ending the 8-year war, dang, between Iran and Iraq. I didn't realize it was that long. Later, Iran sued the U.S., claiming the attacks had breached the country's 55 Treaty of Amity. In 6th of November 2003, the International Court dismissed the claim, but ruled that Operation Praying Mantis, previous October's Operation Nimble Archer, cannot be justified as measures necessary to protect the central security interests of the United States of America. Okay. Praying Mantis was the largest U.S. Navy 5 major surface engagement since World War II, and probably since then. It saw the U.S. Navy's first exchange in anti-ship missiles and opposing ships, and it only sinking of a major surface combatant since World War II. In 18th of April, the U.S. Navy attacked with several groups of surface warships, plus aircraft from the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise and a cruiser export USS Truxtun. The action began with a coordinated strike by two surface groups. One surface group, or SOG, Surface Action Group, consisting of a destroyer USS Merrill, blah, 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 and USS Lind McCormick, plus an amphibious transport dock, USS Trenton, and its embarked Marine Air Ground Task Force contingent MAGTF 288 from Camp Lejeune. So all U.S. Navy ships have, I don't know if it's all, but probably is all, has a Marine Task Force, a United States Marine Corps task force on the ship. and the Lamps helicopter detachment. The USS Samuel B. Roberts was ordered to destroy the guns of other military facilities on the Sanson oil platform. At 8 a.m., the SAG commander, who was also the commander of the destroyer Squadron 9, ordered Merrill to radio the warning to the occupants of the platform, telling them to abandon it. SOG waited 20 minutes, then opened fire on the oil platform, and the oil platform happened to fire back with twin-barreled 23 millimeter Zu-23 guns. I believe those are anti-aircraft guns. So they're shooting at ships with AA guns. The SAG guns eventually disabled some of the Su-23s, and the platform occupants radioed for a quick ceasefire, and the SAG complied. After a tugboat carrying more personnel had cleared the area, the ships resumed exchanging fire with the remaining Su-23s and ultimately disabled them. Cobra helicopters at AH-1 Cobra helicopter completely destroyed the enemy resistance. The Marines boarded the platform and recovered a single wounded survivor who was transported to Bahrain with some small arms and intelligence. The Marines planted explosives, left the platform, detonated them, and the SOG then ordered to proceed north to another oil platform to destroy it. As the SOG departed the oil field, two Iranian F-4s, which is funny because the U.S. makes F-4s, made an attack run but broke off when McCormick locked its fire control radar on the aircraft. Halfway to the oil platform, the attack was called off in an attempt to ease pressure on the Iranians to signal a desire for de-escalation. The other small group included a guided missile destroyer cruiser, USS Wainwright, a frigate, USS Simpson, and USS Bagley, attacked the Siri oil platform. U.S. Navy SEALs were assigned to capture, occupy, and destroy the Siri platform, but had already been heavily damaged by naval gunfire, and an assault was not required. Iran's responded by dispatching a Baghammer, speedboats, so just fast boats, to attack various targets in the Persian Gulf, including American flag ships, supply ships Willie Tide, the Panamanian flagged oil rig Scan Bay, and the British tanker York Marine. All these vessels were damaged in different degrees. The targets were part of Mabarka offshore Saudi oil fields, and the attacks A6E intruder aircraft from the USS Enterprise were directly to the speedboats by American frigates. Two VA-95 aircraft dropped Rock-Eye cluster bombs on the speedboat, sinking one and damaging several others, which then fled the Iranian-controlled island of Abu Musa. The action continued to escalate. Iranian fast attack craft Joshana, the Iranian Kama class fast attack craft, challenged the Wainwright and Surface Action Group Charlie. The commanding officer of the Wainwright directed a final warning stating that Joshan was to stop your engines, abandon ship, I intend to sink you. Joshan responded by firing harpoon missiles at them. So I guess those are just anti-ship missiles. The missiles successfully lured away by chaff. I don't know what chaff is. Simpsons responded to the challenge by firing 4 standard missiles, while the Wainwright followed with 1 standard missile. All missiles hit and destroyed the Iranian ship's superstructure, but did not immediately sink it. So Bagley fired another harpoon. Oh, is this the Kamal class? Is one of the biggest ships from Iran, I believe. Could be wrong. But did not immediately sink it. So Bagley fired another harpoon. The missile did not find the target. SAG Charlie closed on the Joshan with Simpson, then Bagley, then Wainwright, firing guns to sink and cripple the Iranian ship. 2 Iranian F-4 Phantom pilots were orbiting about 48 clicks away from the Wainwright and decided to drive them away. Wainwright fired two extended range Standard missiles, one which detonated near F-4, blowing off part of its wing and peppering the fuselage with shrapnel. The F-4 withdrew, and the Iranian pilot landed his damaged aircraft at Bandar Abbas. I don't know where that is. Iranian province, I'm sure. The fighting continued when Iranian frigate Iris Shahad departed Bandar Abbas and challenged the elements of the American surface group. The frigate was spotted by two A6Es from VA-95 while they were flying surface combat air patrols for the USS Joseph Strauss. The Strand fired missiles at the pilots, which replied with two Harpoon missiles and four laser-guided Skipper missiles. The Joseph Strauss fired a Harpoon missile. Most of all the shots scored hits, causing heavy fires and damages. Fire blazing on the Shahar deck eventually reached the munitions magazines, causing an explosion and sank it. Wow. Later in the day, Iranian frigate Iris Sablan departed from its berth and fired a surface-to-air missile at several A6Es from VA-95. The A6Es then dropped a Mark 82 laser-guided bomb onto the Sablan stack. Oh, into its stack. So the thing where the exhaust comes out like you see on cruise ships, crippling the ship and leaving it burning. The Iranian frigate's stern partially submerged, taking it in tow by Iranian tug, and was repaired and eventually returned to service. The VA-95's aircraft, as ordered, did not continue the attack. The A6 pilot who crippled the Sablan, Lieutenant Commander James Engler, was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. Wow, that's cool. For his actions against Iranian gunboats. In retaliation, the attacks, Iran fired a Silkworm missile, suspect to be a HY-4 version, from land base against Sag Delta in the Strait of Hormuz and the USS Gary in the northern central Persian Gulf, but all missed because of evasive maneuvers use of decoys by the ships. The missiles was probably shot down by Gary's 76mm gun. The Pentagon and Reagan administration later denied any Silkworm missile attacks took place, possibly in order to keep the situation from escalating further, as they had promised publicly that such attacks would merit retaliation against the target's own Iranian soil. So then later, everything was de-escalated. But this attack, I believe, was only like 8 hours. 8 hours, and the whole Iranian Navy was basically taken out of commission. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what Gemini has to say. Continue. Blah, blah, blah. It's thinking. Okay, during this time, roughly half of Iranian's operation fleet was taken out in one day. But how long was the attack? Gemini is doing some thinking. Okay, the start time was to begin at 8 a.m. local time when U.S. surface action groups opened fire on the first oil platform, and then it ended in the late afternoon around 5. So yeah, in a single workday, the U.S. took out half of Iranian's navy, and just like that. And that is why the U.S. military is, politics aside, whatever you think about, whatever you care about, the U.S. military absolutely destroyed the Iranian Navy in 88 with like 3 boats and a couple aircraft. And that is Operation Praying Mantis. Join us here next time on Wiki Reader as we dive into different Wikipedia pages for you. Like, comment, and subscribe what you would like to see next.